Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is your guy Keenan Lambert. We are here in La Havana. So look, I saw my ex-girlfriend, the one from the first trip, and it brought back a whole slew of negative and maybe somewhat positive emotions. Okay, and I want to start this video off with a statement. Dating a woman here in Cuba, like trying to pursue something seriously, is like dating an inmate or a prisoner. Let's get into the video. So my voice is a little shot right now, as per a sinus thing that I picked up in Puerto Rico, but doesn't matter. We're here, we're enjoying ourselves in Havana, Cuba. I have a little canchanchara with me, honey, lime, and rum. Shake it together and it's good for your throat, I think.
The unofficial sponsor of this video is Havana Club. It makes you do crazy things with crazy people here in Havana, Cuba.
So on my first trip to Havana, I met this young lady, okay? A little rough around the edges, but you could see that there was a beauty to her. There was a joy, okay, at least in the moment. So what I did after that moment was I decided to spend a few days with her, okay? I allowed her, didn't quite invite her, but allowed her to come and spend some days with me. Okay, then her spending some days with me transitioned to her and her son spending some days with me. Now, I've said in previous videos that I'm not about the stepdaddy games, and the reason why is because I kind of had a bad experience with that. In spending a few days with her, I realized very quickly that there would be no way in hell that I could take this situation seriously. Now, the intimacy, all of those things were on point. Okay, amazing. However, there are issues on the back end which expose itself. Cultural issues as well as class issues. See, for me, I didn't grow up rich. I definitely didn't grow up dirt poor. I grew up somewhere in the middle, but I grew up with manners, okay? And in some of these families, in urban areas, in Havana, you meet some individuals who are sweet and amazing, but then you meet some individuals who don't have the most manners. And part of that is something that you develop, a thick skin, given the extreme nature of the poverty here. Now for me, I feel like this particular young lady, okay, we'll call her X Lopez. I feel like X Lopez used her femininity as a weapon, okay, use it as a weapon to sort of encircle me and trap me. But, you know, I would end up getting my escape with a flight back to the United States. And I had time to really sit and think about it, okay? Sit, think about it, digest it, and realize that it wasn't at all for me, that situation. But in reality, it didn't really take that long for me to realize it, okay? I realized it while I was still here, spending those few days with her, okay? We ended up going out to the beach, okay? And on the beach, we went to a restaurant. And what I saw her and her cousin do, not the young man, but her and her cousin, I saw them completely disrespect the waiter, okay? They were asking him why the food was taking so long. When he brought the food, they grabbed it out of his hand, and instead of eating with utensils, they started eating with their bare hands. And I don't know, it was a savage-like experience, to be honest with you. I saw a different level of humanity. Not even in the poorest areas of Jamaica will I see something like that. Okay, again, manners. Manners is important. And, you know, in that moment, I realized I cannot take this woman and take her serious in any context. Now, some of you may be saying, like, okay, Keenan, you got unlucky. That was a bad one. All right. There are other reasons why it's probably not the best idea to take a Cuban girl seriously. Okay? Rule number one, which might be rule number one, which I'm going to mention primarily here, is that they are not loyal. Okay? In addition to you, they will have several other boyfriends. Okay? Maybe you might get evidence of it. Maybe somebody might send you a photo of them out arm in arm with a man that's not their family member, or might send you a photo of them at dinner with another guy. It happens like that sometimes. The thing about Cuban women across the board, in my experience, is that you cannot trust what they say. Okay, lying to their men is normal, and they don't tell you the truth about what their situation is. Okay, I don't have any evidence to suggest that that's what she was doing. Well, actually I do, but it didn't matter anyway because it wasn't a serious situation once I got back to the States. Okay, once I got back to the States, okay, I went ahead and I sent her some bread, okay, money. Okay, the young man was starting school, he needed some supplies. Okay, after I sent this money for the kids' school, that was very specific, that was for the kids' school and food for the house. What happened? The kid got some school supplies, yes. I did see some evidence of food in the house, but also new hair popped up. Okay, new extensions. That's not an essential, that's not why I sent the money. So that was something that really inflamed me. Also, she lied about being with other foreigners. Okay, I saw evidence. I saw men's boxers amongst her stuff, amongst her items, things that she would wear regularly. And when I was leaving, she asked me for a pair of my boxers. Now, okay, maybe she's one of these young ladies that dates primarily foreigners because foreigners can do something for her. Okay. But when I ask you, have you ever dated another foreigner, and you tell me no, and I see evidence to the contrary, that means that you're lying, and you're lying about other things as well.
See, Johnny's girlfriend today could very easily be some other foreigner's girlfriend tomorrow, or after he gets on the plane. And he and this never man will never know of each other unless there's video evidence from your boy Keenan Lambert. The nature of the game here in Havana is crazy.
Now, this next one I'm not necessarily taking from my experience. However, it's something that I've heard recently a lot amongst my brothers here. Women in Cuba feel entitled to the money of foreigners, even if that guy is not their boyfriend, and it's just something casual. If they have a need, they're going to request it, and they feel entitled to getting whatever it is that they want, for the simple fact that you have resources and they don't. And after you've helped them financially or with a gift of some sort, there's no appreciation for that assistance. It's sort of a, well, it's what you're supposed to do type of reaction. And across the board, it seems to be a common theme where after you send some money to ease the situation of some of these young ladies, a couple days later, right, that's when their thirst for more starts kicking, and then they'll ask you for more and more and more. Okay, it really is as if they believe that money grows on trees in other places. Okay, I even find that in Jamaica, there's a similar idea that it's just easy. Money falls out of the sky in the United States. It's easier, right? But it doesn't fall out of the sky. And it might involve you having to go to work in 10 degrees of weather. Meanwhile, when it's 50 degrees here, nobody wants to go outside. I had to get away from where I was sitting to say this to you guys. There's also another big issue. Hygiene. Hygiene. Hygiene here is not always in a good place with young women. And it's something that when you grow up in the Western world, you're used to people being hygienic, smelling good, being clean. Here sometimes, they may not have water, they may not have soap, so they smell a little bit raw at times. Or, their ting-ting is not fresh at time. But, okay, I'm not going to trash Cuban women across the board. There are some good girls here, okay? And the ones that you want to look for, if you must, are women that have jobs that they are dedicated to, okay? Women that have jobs that they're dedicated to, or young women that are still in university pursuing their education. It shows that they have a drive, they have a belief in something bigger than what is immediate to them. Okay, so when you're looking for, if you're looking for a real one here, those are the types that you want. A young lady that's working on a spot. You see her there day after day, not entertaining a bunch of foreigners, okay? Those are the ones that you want. Young lady that goes to the university, maybe she's a grad school, maybe a med student. Those are the ones that you want. I also do believe that there's a little bit of a neighborhood thing as well, okay? You're probably more likely to find a good girl in Vedado, where they're a little bit more economically well off, as opposed to here in Central, where I'm at, in the heat. Okay, honestly, this is where I prefer to be. This is my comfort zone. For a lot of individuals here, okay, sexuality is something that they've been engaging in from a very, very young age. Okay, so just because she gives you attention, just because she comes back to your place, or you go to her place, that does not mean that she likes you genuinely. Okay? Do I believe that this young lady liked me genuinely? To a degree. Okay, to a degree, I do think that she liked me, but primarily she saw me as a resource. Okay? A resource in part economically then, but more so for the future. An economic resource that can pull her out of poverty. Okay, these young ladies in many cases are dating foreigners with the idea that this foreigner can get them out of Cuba eventually, right? Or spend or send enough money to make their situation better so that they're not living in hot squalor. So for this young lady, when I went over to her house, there was a power outage, yes. Okay, but that's common here. But what I saw was her and her son sleeping on a mattress that had a big old hole in the middle. You could see like springs. You could see springs in the middle. Do not date any woman that pulls up on you. Boys, there are a million men here in Cuba. Excuse me, a million men here in La Havana. Why isn't she going to talk to one of them? What is it about you? Obviously you're a foreigner. Obviously you have more resources than her. Okay, there's something about you that she wants. Okay, and majority of the time, it's not you as a person, it's what's behind you.
If you don't believe me, listen to the OG. They never lie.
That the women here in Cuba, my friend, have a terrible defect. They have a terrible defect. They have very materialist.
Oh, they're materialistic.
The first they asking you is, okay, my boy, okay, my love. What you earn? How much you got?
What are you gonna do for me?
What do you do for me?
You're
What
right.
do you do for living?
You're right,
What do you do
exactly.
for living? And if
Exactly.
you have nothing for them, they say, oh no, guy, go away, little boy, or go away, old man. Because you have nothing to offer me. You cannot make me a good offer because you have nothing in your pocket. You have not a good job. You are an old man, sick, abandoned by your boys, abandoned by your children. And now you can now do a good offer to me. And so I see that for a long time that I stay here in Cuba from the year 2007. So
I think across the board, right, there are a lot of cultures around the world that, give room for women to be jealous. It allows for them to be jealous. However, here in Cuba, it is next level. Okay, again, you're not just you're not just a romantic partner. You are an economic resource for them. So they guard you, Game 7 defense. Okay, Game 7 NBA Finals defense at all times. Okay, they will not let you out of their sight. Okay? And that's something that's a little bit problematic. If you're here in Havana as a foreigner, you want to enjoy yourself. You want to let loose. You don't necessarily always want to be around your partner. Okay, you need that air, and she wants to take that air from you. Okay, so while you're not there, while you're back at home making money, she's not sitting at home twiddling her thumbs, going to church, going to school only, going to work only. No. She is, again, back in the faces of other foreigners. I had a boy come down here and deal with a young lady. I was actually present for all of it when it happened, right? And to me, she struck me as a good girl, a woman that used to be a teacher, right? However, when he was coming back to Cuba, right, he said, hey, I want to come on such and such date. She said, no, come at the end of the month. Now there are two possibilities here. There could be the cycle, right, that women go through, and she wanted to ensure that she had a good time with him, right? Or one of her other men, coming from God knows what country, God knows what city, is coming down to spend time with her during that time. Okay, it's a real thing here in Cuba.
I was actually joking with a friend the other day that the best case scenario in Cuba is if she has that one local dude that's holding things down while you're out of town. And he's cool with the setup because he's eating well off of you and all that money that you're sending back.
There's this very bad habit that they have here at times, right, where they'll come to your place, they meaning the young lady, and they'll see things and they'll ask you for it. Okay, Cuba, as many of you know who have been here, shopping is not the easiest thing. Finding what you're looking for requires you to go to several places and ask. If they don't have it, hey, do you know somebody who does this? Okay, so when it comes to your place, right, it's a part of them also not just simply not having enough resources. They might see something and they'll ask you for it. Okay, and it's something that I see some of even my Jamaican family members do. And it bothers me to my core. I hate it. See, so this apartment is actually on a very busy street. So, for those of you that like to get the attention of women, okay, it's very easy to do so here. Okay, catcalling in the States is kind of old school, something that people don't really like. But here in Cuba, it's very normal. Say you go ahead and you take the leap, right? You bring them to the United States. You bring them to Canada. You bring them to Europe. Okay, statistics shows that these young ladies do not stick around for long. In many cases, they will take off once they have the ability to and blend into the Cuban diaspora community that is within that country. Or maybe they might leave Canada and go to the United States, go to Miami, and blend into the population in Miami. Okay, that seems to be the situation here. Okay, you cannot trust Cuban women. If you guys disagree with anything that I said in this video, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. I love you. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
Para averiguar quién es, hicimos esta reunión así como